That fake young master is a two-faced snake. He wanted me to know that the 5 sisters like him the most. Therefore, on my very first day in the mansion, he deliberately made the 5 sisters stop me outside at the main gate. No matter how much I knocked, no one answered. I did not step back. I grabbed a fire axe and without a second thought, swung it straight at the gate. The Zhang family, who was watching on the security cameras, was shocked by that wild move. I did not hesitate at all. I placed the axe on my shoulder and walked inside. Jiang Yunuo was standing behind the others. His face turned pale with fear, and the 5 sisters came in front of him without a thought to save him, and were looking at me with cold, sugary eyes. Their words felt like a knife. Feng Shiwan, the price of that door is 8 locks. You are just an ordinary person from a village. Do you think you will be able to pay for this? First of all, Zhang Nu's eldest sister, Zhang Wangxia, spoke. It has been 18 years and you didn't die there yet. What was the need to come back? The third sister, Zhang Meiling, interrupted in between. Her hatred was clearly visible. Look at your condition. Standing near you makes even us look bad. The fifth sister, Zhang Yutong, folded her hands. There was pride in her eyes. If you want your own well-being, then stay in the room that we have prepared for you and never show your face again. My eyes locked onto Zhang Wangxia, the woman who, in my past life, plunged the knife given by Zhang Yanyo into my waist with her own hands. She got nervous by that look. She unintentionally took a step back. I turned towards the housekeeper standing beside me. Aunt Chan, take me to my room. Aunt Chan did not move. She looked at me with hatred. Who do you think you are to order me? I smiled. This woman had made my past life difficult. Today, she will be the first one I deal with. I slowly went near her, grabbed Aunt Chan's tied hair and pulled it hard. She fell to the ground, screaming in pain. I dragged her past the Zhang siblings and said, I am going upstairs to choose my room. I want the biggest room. The color drained from everyone's face in the room. Zhang Yutong immediately replied, the biggest room belongs to Yanuo. Who do you think you are? I kept walking. Completely ignoring her, I dragged Aunt Chin up the stairs, deliberately let her collide with the walls on both sides. With every collision, a sharp wave of pain shot through her back. Aunt John could not bear it anymore. Young master, please leave me. I will take you to the room. I will take you to the room. In just a short while, I reached the second floor and turned straight right. Zhang Inuo's 5 sisters could not stop anymore. They all came running upstairs behind me, and there they found me standing in front of their beloved brother's bedroom door, holding a fire axe. Feng Sivan, you wouldn't dare, Zhang Wangxia said angrily, although there was a slight tremble in her voice. If you put that axe down, then leave this family forever. I dragged Aunt Chan, whose face was like ash, over the broken door and walked inside. Behind me, Zhang Yanuo's fists clenched. It was difficult to hide the hatred in his eyes. Now this is my room. I left Aunt Chan and threw her aside like trash. Zhang Yanyu took a deep breath, trying to suppress the growing anger and nervousness inside him. He extended his hand and, pulling Zhang Wangxia's sleeve, said in a low voice, Wang Shi, let it go. He has suffered a lot outside. He is the real eldest young master of the Zhang family. All of this is his right. I grew up with you all, but in the end, I'm not of Zhang blood. As long as I can stay in this house and stay near you, that is enough for me. If he wants this room, give it to him. His trick, wrapped in sweet words, worked exactly as he had thought. It ignited the sisters' anger and filled them with protectiveness for him. You, don't worry. Zhang Wangxie came in front of him. Her voice was like iron. I will not let him take your room. He should only get a storage closet. Let's throw him out right now. The third sister, Zhang Meiling, was already moving to force her way inside. As soon as the sisters came inside, they were met with my completely shameless smile. A line of muddy boot prints was formed on the snow-white imported cashmere carpet. Zhang Yenuo spoke right on time, his voice filled with pain. That carpet, Meiling brought it for me from abroad. It is a limited edition. He left the sentence incomplete. There was no need to complete it. The sisters burst out in anger. Feng Shi Yuan! Zhang Mingling thrust her finger into my face. I have never seen a shameless person like you in my entire life. This is Yuo's room. Will you go go by yourself, or will we have to drag you out? Such scenes had happened many times in my past life. I was used to it. If anything, I felt like laughing. I spread my hands and gave a cold smile. This room is mine. Go ahead and show me by doing something. That shameless challenge forced them to cross the limit. Zhang Wangxia's eyes turned cold. She moved forward to throw me out herself. Zhang Yunuo grabbed her hand. There was an expression of wounded helplessness on his face. Wangxia, forget it. This is his room. He is the real eldest young master. Don't blame him. If anyone should go out, it is me. He moved towards me. His voice was soft. Don't be angry. They are behaving like this because they worry about me. I had heard such tricks wrapped in sweet words a lot in my past life. It made me feel disgusted. I did not want to hear another word of it. I moved forward and slapped Zhang Yanyu hard across the face, breaking the mask of his fake innocence. He held his immediately swollen cheek, looking at me in surprise. Tears came immediately, falling in large drops as if he were the saddest person in the world. You know! Several voices screamed together. All 5 sisters lunged towards me, staring as if I had committed an unforgivable crime. Zhang Wangxia lost her temper. Her well-cleaned hand swung towards my face, sharp nails cutting through the air. My eyes hardened. I suddenly raised my hand and grabbed her wrist. My second hand came without mercy, struck her cold, beautiful cheek. At the same time, my leg was already moving. A sharp side kick straight to her stomach across that expensive skirt. Zhang Wangxia screamed in pain and stumbled back, collided with the second sister, Zhangxia, behind her. Both fell down together. The rest of the Zhang family froze, so shocked that they couldn't react. Zhang Yanwo looked at me. His voice was breaking with dramatic pain. How did you hit Wangxia and Xia? If you have any complaint, take it out on me. I had no patience for his drama. I moved forward and grabbed Zhang Nu's throat. I lifted him until his feet rose off the ground, then moved my empty hand back and forth. 2 sharp slaps landed one after the other. A long-forgotten wave of satisfaction shot through me. Zhang Yanuo's face was a mask of fear. He was struggling in vain like a chicken caught by the throat. Leave him! Shouts burst out as the remaining sisters all lunged at me. The third sister, Zhang Meiling, picked up a decorative crystal vase from nearby and started to smash it towards my head. I stepped back a little, let him go, and pulled Zhang Yanwo forward into the path of that blow. By the time Zhang Meiling realized who was in front of her, it was too late to stop. The crystal vase collided with Zhang Yanwo's head. A blood-curdling scream echoed in the air. I let him go and stepped back, watching Zhang Yanwo holding his head, blood seeping through his fingers. The smile on my face was as cold as ice. Wow, looks like someone's head has cracked open. My voice was almost playful. Beautiful. Zhang Yanuo pressed his hands to his head, feeling the warm blood. There was utter panic on his face. Blood! Blood is coming out! Will my face be ruined? Even Zhang Wangxia was shaken. She forgot her pain and quickly stood up. You, Yanuo, I didn't mean to. Bring the first aid kit right now, Zhang Sha said in a sharp voice. She was a doctor and she kept her mind calm. Quickly went to Zhang Inuo. She looked at the wound and handled it. Yo, don't be afraid. I am here. This is just a superficial wound. You will be fine. The first aid kit arrived quickly. Zhang Sha carefully cleaned the wound and bandaged it. In that small, quiet moment, Zhang Wangxia raised her eyes to me. Her anger was absolutely clear. Feng Shiwen, she said through gritted teeth. You came back, and within an hour, Yuo is bleeding. How can you be so cruel? If you have even a little sense left, leave this family right now. I burst out laughing in a loud and funny way. Zhang Wangxia, did I hurt Zhang Yanuo? Wasn't it your beloved third sister who broke the vase on his head with her own hands? Everyone here saw it. I covered my mouth as another laugh escaped. A bit dramatic, perhaps, but the satisfaction was completely real. Wow, dog eating dog. Or should I say sisters tearing each other apart? What a sight. Zhang Wangxia's face turned truly ugly. She was so flustered with anger that she couldn't speak a word. Zhang Yutong marched towards me in anger. Her face was distorted distorted with rage. Oh, so it wasn't your fault. If you hadn't dodged the bus, it would never have hit you. You did this. You are a jinx. Listen to this logic. Exactly the same mindless thinking as in my past life. I raised my hand as if I was about to slap her. Zhang Yutong had learned her lesson. She moved aside without thinking, and I said, "And I thought you all were so stupid that if someone attacked you, you couldn't even duck. Turns out you do know how to get out of the way." I grabbed her collar and pulled her close to me. My voice dropped low, but every word was clearly audible in her ear. "Zhang Yutong, that was just a test. I wanted to see if you would even try to dodge or not. If I really wanted to hit you, do you think you would have been able to escape?" Before she could reply, crack, crack. Two sharp slaps, first left then right, clean and echoing. "Feng Shivan, what are you doing now?" A familiar voice came from the door. I looked up. Everyone had come home at the exact right time. My so-called father, Zhang Shiyu, and that stepmother who always hated me, Su Yuewa, were standing at the door. Their faces were gray as iron when they saw this sight. The whole family was finally gathered. My game could truly begin now. Su Yuewa had just seen me hitting her daughter. The anger inside her rose so fast that she couldn't stop it. Then she saw Zhang Yano. There was blood on his face. The anger intensified. She marched inside. "Leave my daughter!" I looked at their shocked and angry faces and let go of Zhang Yutong. I reached out, pulled a wet wipe from a nearby box, and casually cleaned my fingers as if I had just touched something dirty. As soon as Su Yuehua saw her daughter's swollen face, her heart broke. She glared at me and her words were cruel. "If I knew you were so cruel, I would have strangled you the moment I saw you. She is your sister. How dare you raise a hand on her? If you want to live in this house, you will live with manners. When I say stand up, you will stand up. When I say kneel down, you will kneel down." I raised my eyebrows, completely indifferent. If Madame Zhang dislikes me so much, I will leave. To be honest, I am not that eager to claim a right on this family anyway. A wave of joy shot through Zhang Yinuo's chest. Good, never come back. The Zhang family only needs one eldest young master. Sui Weiwa was about to throw me out, but Zhang Shanwei grabbed her hand and spoke first. "Feng An, don't say such things. You are our son. What your mother said, she said because she is upset. Don't take it to heart." I said nothing. I actually had no intention of leaving. This was my battlefield. I was not going anywhere until everyone had paid their debts, and this moment just confirmed that the Zhang family cared a lot about the bloodline that I carried behind me. So now that you are in this house, behave yourself. You will follow our rules. Whatever you say and do reflects on this family. Such behavior is shameful. This is against the dignity of the eldest son of the Zhang family, and it reflects badly on all of us. In the outside world, you will be introduced as our adopted son. Yuo will remain the eldest young master of the Zhang family. I raised my eyebrows and looked towards the quietly standing Zhang Shanyu, my father and the real power behind the Yang family. "Mr. Zhang," I changed the way I addressed him. My voice was intentionally distant. "Do you also think that all of this is my fault?" Zhang Shanwei's face darkened. His eyes swept over me, then on Zhang Yinhuo, then on every sister. They stopped upon coming to my face, examining, calculating, a calculation he was trying hard to hide. Before he could speak, Su Weiwa angrily interrupted in between. "If I knew you were this kind of trouble, we should never have brought you back. You are a disease for this house. You came back in one day and turned everything upside down. Just stop it." Zhang Shanyu finally spoke. Cutting off Su Yewa's long tirade, he took a breath and turned towards me. His voice was trying to remain calm, but it still had the same clear tone of looking down from above. "Fa Shen, didn't the butler explain everything to you? Yes, you are my biological son, but Yunuo has been with us for so many years. In our hearts, he is already family. I am telling you to find a way to live together." He paused. There was a warning in his voice. "Now that you are back in this house, you will follow our rules. What you just did was absolutely wrong. Apologize to your mother, your sisters, and Yanwo." I let out a short, amused laugh laugh, as if I had just heard the funniest thing in the world. Mr. Zhang, I think you are thinking backwards. I moved forward, meeting his gaze. The moment I walked in through that door. Did your wife? Did your daughters? Did this fake person who snatched everything from me? Has any of them shown me even a shred of respect? Locking me out of my own house. Are these your rules? Telling me to sleep in a storage closet? Are these your rules? Screaming at me to get out? Are these your rules? Breaking a vase on my head. Is this what is called rules in the Jiang family? My voice grew colder and sharper with every word. If these are your rules, then I am sorry. I do not follow them. I threw a wet wipe onto the ground and swept my gaze across everyone in the room. My eyes locked onto Jiang Shanyu and stopped there. Since this family does not want me here, I will not claim a right on you. I will leave. I turned to leave. Zhang Yano's heart leapt. He wanted nothing more than for me to walk out that door. So Yuewa could barely contain her words. So go. Stop. Zhang Shanwei's voice cracked like a whip. His face changed several times quickly. He did not care whether I lived or died, but he cared a lot about what I could represent. The Tang family of the capital. That connection was the ladder that could include the Jiang family among the big people of the capital. He could not let me go. Fang Shan, I will not hear such talk again. You are my son. This is your home. There was no room for argument in his voice. Your mother and sisters said all that only out of concern for you. Don't take it to heart. I stopped. I did not turn around, but I did not take another step towards the door either. I was not really going to leave. This was my battleground. How could I leave until all these relatives had paid their debt? Jiang Shanyu's desire to connect with the Tang family was my biggest protection. Seeing me stop, Jiang Shanyu breathed a sigh of relief. He looked at Suyewa and the sister. There was a clear warning in his voice. I am saying this once more. Fang Xian is my biological son, your own blood brother. Whoever throws him out again or tells him to leave will not like what follows. Dad, Jiang Wenxia said, placing her hand on her aching face. She could not believe this. Shut up. He looked at her angrily. Look at the state of you all, screaming and hitting each other. What will people think if this gets out? He finally looked towards me. His voice softened slightly. Fengshan, the room is yours, just as you said. Inuo, you will move to the guest room next door. Dad, Jiang Inuo stared at Jiang Shanyu. There was surprise on his face. There were tears in his eyes. His whole body was trembling. All the sisters spoke up together. Dad, Yuo cannot sleep on a strange bed. Dad, you cannot do this. He has had that room for more than 10 years. President Jiang Shanwei angrily rubbed his temples and ended the matter. Enough, this is the final decision. Shayan has just returned. He needs time to adjust. You sisters will have to compromise more. Yuo, behave according to your age. Zhang Yunuo lowered his head, hiding the hatred filling his eyes. His nails dug into his palms. His voice came out choked, but obedient. Yes, Dad, I understand. If he wants it, he can take it. I laughed internally. Nothing showed on my face. I did what I came to do. Took the room, set the mood. There was no need to push more right now. I looked towards Jiang Shanyi and moved to the next issue. Mr. Jiang, now that the room is mine, everything kept in it should also return to its rightful owner, right? That old furniture, those old clothes, all of this does not suit the eldest son of the Jiang family, right? Think how it will look. Jiang Shanyue just wanted to stop me. He waved his hand. Tomorrow, your mother will take you shopping. Change everything. My son uses only the best things. Su Yewa felt pain. That furniture was imported, very expensive, and he was changing it with a wave of a hand. But looking at Jiang Shanyu's face, she had no choice but to suppress her resentment. This move was mine, and I was far ahead. That night, I lay on that soft, large bed that once belonged to Jiang Inuo. I could still feel his scent on the sheets. It made my stomach churn, no matter. Soon, this place will be completely mine, and tomorrow, a new game awaited them all. I slept soundly. No dreams came. The next morning, I came downstairs, feeling completely fresh and agile. The dining room looked like a family photo. Zhang Shanyi was sitting at the head of the table reading the newspaper. Su Yowa was lovingly placing a crystal shrimp dumpling into Jiang Yunwo's bowl. The sisters were talking and laughing around the table. Jiang Yanwo wore a soft, completely perfect smile as if nothing had happened yesterday. As soon as I appeared, the laughter stopped. Tension rose in the air. Zhang Yanwo put his chopsticks down, and in a flash gave a glowing smile. "Good morning, come eat," he called out towards the kitchen. Aunt Chan set another cutlery set. "He has come for breakfast. As always, completely caring. As always, completely loved." I glanced at the table. There was absolutely no place for me. In my past life, I would have stood there awkwardly, waiting for the servant to make space for me, like a beggar who has come to someone else's feast, feeling awkwardly insulted. And then, as soon as I would go to sit, one of the sisters would quietly pull the chair away, drop me to the ground, and make a mockery of the table. Instead, I walked straight over there. Every eye in the room grew wide. I grabbed Zhang Yunuo by his collar and pulled him up from his chair. He didn't get time to react. A surprised scream escaped his mouth. "Fengshan, what are you doing? Leave him!" The sisters spoke in unison. Everyone stood up in an instant. I ignored them and pushed Zhang Yunwo back slightly, not so hard that he would fall, but enough that he stumbled back several steps. Then I comfortably sat on the chair he had just vacated. I picked up the chopsticks he was using, wrinkled my nose, and threw them aside. When there is no space at the table, the extra person should have the sense to stand. I picked up a clean pair of chopsticks. My voice was completely clear, as if I were saying something so obvious it didn't need explaining. I looked towards Yang Shanwei, whose face had turned brown as iron, and gave a slight smile. "Am I wrong, Mr. Zhang? Who is the extra person in this family?" I said those last words with special emphasis. My gaze went straight towards Zhang Yanuo, whose face had turned white as paper. The extra person was exactly this fake little master. Zhang Yanuo's fists clenched tightly. His whole body was trembling slightly. Insult and hatred were threatening to swallow him completely. Before Zhang Shu could say anything, the sisters burst out. "Feng Shivan, why are you making Yuo's life difficult at every turn?" Zhang Wangxia's face turned pale with anger. "Dad, look at him. This is the one you brought back to our house. Not a shred of gratitude, and he is just bringing troubles upon Yuo." Zhang Shanyo slammed the newspaper onto the table. "I am saying this once more. Fangxian is my son, your own brother." He looked at the boy he had loved since childhood. He stood there wounded and helpless, and something pained inside him. But as soon as the capital's Tang family came to his mind, that pain was crushed under the weight of his ambition. He cast a cold glance at Su Yuewa. "What kind of mother are you? You couldn't even set a place for him. Can't you see when the servants are not doing their job?" Su Yuewa's chest was burning with resentment. It was just one place. Was all of this worth it? But seeing Zhang Shanwei's angry face, she swallowed everything. Zhang Shanwei looked towards Zhang Wangxia, whose face was still tight with anger. "Wangxia, you are the eldest. Behave like it. Fang Shivan is your own brother. From now on, think before you speak." After Zhang Shanyu's anger, complete silence fell over the dining room. Zhang Yanuo stood frozen. A chill was rising straight from the soles of his feet to his head, spreading through his every part. Zhang Shanyu's open partiality chilled him to the bone. Those words, "your own brother," pierced like a sword. Had everything just come down to blood? 18 years of love, and it shattered so easily. He couldn't hold back anymore. Bursting into tears, he turned to run upstairs. "Stop!" I stopped him. The game had only just begun. The hero couldn't leave just yet. I looked towards Zhang Shanyu, showing a slight curiosity on my face. "Dad, now that I am back, shouldn't we hold a homecoming banquet to let everyone know that Zhang Shanyue's biological son has returned?" I put great emphasis on biological son for what was to come. I didn't mind calling him Dad right now. A single sentence and every face in the room changed again. Every eye automatically moved towards Zhang Inuo. Zhang Inuo stood with his head bowed, lips tight. The hatred inside him was growing like a poisonous and wild thing. But he couldn't let it out. He had to endure it. He tried to maintain his facial expression, then slowly raised his head and gave a faint, weak smile. "Dad, he is right. Now that he is back, absolutely we should hold a homecoming banquet. This is the only way he will know how much this family values him." I turned towards him. There was open, naked provocation in my eyes. "And while we are doing this, we should also let everyone know Zhang Inuo's status as the adopted son. The challenge in my eyes was very open. Jang Inuo was barely managing to control himself. He forced the corners of his lips into a smile. His eyes turned red. "You don't seem to like me very much," he said softly. "If you are still angry about yesterday, then I am sorry." With a clever move, he immediately changed the topic and did not fall into my trap. He just had to look that wounded, and his sisters would attack on his behalf. And as expected, Zhang Wenxia was the first to flare up in anger. "Do you have to be this heartless?" Zhang Wenxia glared at me. "Can you think about You's feelings for even a second? We don't care about blood relations. He will always be our brother. I gave her nothing. Why should I care about his feelings? Because of me, he spent 18 years in luxury that he never earned. Shouldn't he be kneeling down to thank me? And you, Zhang Wenxia, when you do something, can you stop making everything about Jiang Inuo's feelings? Dad himself said, I am your real brother. Being heartless goes both ways." I looked towards Zhang Shanyu. His face was filled with anger. "If I cannot come back into this family as the eldest son of the Zhang family, then this relationship has no meaning." My point was clear. I am not asking you to send Zhang Inuo away. That is my biggest concession. After all, if he leaves, who will I play with? Everyone else looked towards Zhang Shanyu. "Dad, this will ruin you. Dad, we can tell people that they both are biological. We can say that Mom gave birth to twins back then." I stood up. My resentment was barely hidden. Biological is biological. Adopted is adopted. You cannot blur that line. Twins? Is he even worth that? The capital's Tang family came to his mind, and Zhang Shanyu agreed again. Fangxian is the real eldest son of the Zhang family. The homecoming banquet will happen according to plan. At that time, Fangxian's identity will be made public, and You's status as the adopted son too. His voice carried the firm tone of a man who could not be argued with. I looked straight at Zhang Guo. Every part of me was provoking him. This time, Yang Inuo truly couldn't control himself. He ran upstairs in tears. The sisters immediately moved to go after him. "Sit down and eat, all of you." Zhang slammed his hand on the table. The sisters were desperate to go to him, but they had no other choice. They sat back in their chairs in anger. The glances they threw at me could strip flesh from bones. Despite all this, a slight smile remained on my face. Behind my eyes lay deep hatred. Zhang Shanyu saw all this. In my past life, I wanted belonging. I was ashamed of myself. So I endured everything and kept everyone happy and never fought for my rights because I remained silent. Zhang Shanyu closed his eyes, and I paid the price of that silence with years of grief and insult. The title of the eldest son was nothing to me, but it was everything to Zhang Inuo. That was the reason I couldn't let him keep it. Zhang Shanyu did not want to break Zhang Inuo's heart, but he couldn't miss the chance to connect with the Tang family either, which I represented. He did not think for a second and agreed to the homecoming banquet. The atmosphere at the table was suffocating. The sisters had no appetite. They were just waiting for breakfast to end so they could comfort their beloved brother. On the second floor in the corner, Zhang Nu heard that Zhang Shanwei had agreed to my demand. In an instant, his eyes filled with hatred. His hands clenched into fists. All those promises that sounded so good. He will never be allowed to climb over me. I will always remain the young master of the Yang family. It was decided that when he returned, he would be the adopted son. And yet in less than a day, he lost his room, lost the title of the eldest son, and now he had no home and family left to call his own. I was in a good mood and took a little more food. Then I extended my hand towards Su Weiwa, smiling happily. "Mom, I need money. I am going to buy clothes." Su Weiwa's brow furrowed. She always hated me, and now I was making it worse. But because of Zhang Shanyu sitting there, she had no room to show anger. She said carefully, "Feng Shivan, there are already very good clothes in your room." I interrupted her in the middle. "Do you want me to wear the discarded clothes of an adopted son? Am I, the eldest son of the Zhang family, not entitled to new clothes? I was not like my past life, who would walk blindly through everything, who would bear every insult without saying anything. In this life, I will not tolerate a single insult. The only one causing grief to others is me." Zhang Shanwei saw Siyewa stalling. He was clearly getting angry. Senseless woman. I have already told you who he is connected to. If we connect with the capital's Tang family, the Jiang family will not remain just a name in City A. We will become big people in the capital ourselves. He cleared his throat and spoke in a voice that was more a command than a suggestion. Fang Shan is the son of this family. My son will absolutely not wear those old clothes. He did not grow up with us. We have to make up for his absence. Take him shopping after breakfast. Get him everything from the new season. Top brands, shoes, watches, bags, the whole set. Don't embarrass us. The Zhang family had money, but Zhang Shanwei was not usually a man to spend so open-handedly. It was only because of the Tang connection that I brought. To earn money, you have to spend money. The matter had come to this. Therefore, Suyewa had no choice but to agree and no room to keep her resentment. Upstairs, Zhang Yanluo watched all this happening, and something broke inside him. Just this morning, she was talking about taking him out to make him happy. Now, she was going to buy someone else's clothes. What did that make him? 18 years of love reduced by a drop of blood. Living there all those years was just a joke. The sisters looked at me with quiet, resentful eyes. Zhang Yanluo was going to be very sad hearing this. When Zhang Shanwei finished his talk, he looked at me, and the picture of a large pile of money seemed to beckon him from behind his head. His face turned clearly happy. Pang Sivan, if you need anything, come to me. I am with you. Do plenty of shopping today. Tomorrow, go with your mother to take admission in Shajin High School. I have overseen everything. Don't worry about it. It is just a formality. The college entrance exam is just a ritual. Your future is already set. That name made the corners of my lips turn up slightly and brought a cold gleam to my eyes. My past life memories of that school were very deep. We were going in Su Yuewa's luxury car. The atmosphere was suffocating. Zhang Nuo had also come along, under the pretext of helping me choose. He spent the whole ride holding hands with Suyewa, refreshing childhood memories. The two of them were laughing happily together. It was a deliberate drama of showing closeness so that I would feel like an outsider. In my past life, perhaps this would have stung me. Perhaps I would have felt jealous. Now, it just felt like two flies buzzing in my ear, annoying and nothing more. Zhang Nuo saw my blank face and couldn't help himself. Why don't you share some of your childhood memories? We would all love to hear. I turned and gave him a cold look. What exactly do you want to hear? How I starved and wore torn clothes and rolled in the mud? Or how, while you were living here in luxury, I was suffering outside in your place? My words were direct and ruthless. The smile froze on Zhang Nuo's face. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. His eyes turned red. He waved his hands quickly, the picture of a greatly misunderstood innocent. Pang Shan! Su Yewa immediately jumped to his defense. Yo means well. Can you stop behaving like you have thorns all over? Mind your tongue. My existence itself is a sin. Haven't you heard? I let out a cold laugh. Would you prefer I take that anger out on you? A mother who lost her biological son, safely protecting an adopted child every day without any regret, while causing pain to her own. What a fine mother you are. There was taunting in my voice. They say in history, wives have been abandoned for concubines. Now we have a biological son abandoned for an adopted one. Madam Su, you are truly unique. Su Yuewa's face turned red. Her throat filled with anger. Words came up to her mouth, then she slammed on the brakes. She couldn't say the one thing she wanted to say most, that I was not her biological son. If I ever found out that I was not of Yang family blood, Zhang Shi would never forgive her. I looked into her eyes, leaning forward. If there is something to say, say it. Looking at her expression, as if she had swallowed something filthy, my mood improved considerably. It was about to get even worse for her. She should stay comfortable. The rest of the journey passed in peace. Just that Zhang Yinyo tried to talk in between, which I completely ignored. We reached City A's biggest shopping center. I wasted absolutely no time. I went straight towards the luxury brands. Su Yuewa was walking behind me. Every time the card swiped, her hand would tremble. Her face was becoming angrier by the minute. Zhang Jinuo was broken inside. Jealousy was eating him up from the inside. Such unlimited shopping where you could take whatever you wanted, he had never done in his life. Whenever he shopped, he always had to watch the mood of Suyewa and the sisters. He always had to look sensible and low spending. This couldn't go on. He had to do something. He took a soft breath, gave a slight smile, and turned towards Suyewa. Mom, after walking so much, you must be tired. Let's sit somewhere and rest. Suyewa was already troubled over the rising bill. She grabbed this suggestion like a support, but I spoke first. I looked at Django angrily. No one asked you to come. If you are already tired, go home. Don't ruin the mood. Zhang Nu immediately panicked. His eyes turned red. I didn't mean that. I was just worried for Mom. Just stop it. Suyewa's anger flared up again. Thanks you. Yo is saying a good thing, and you have already bought quite enough. Know when to stop too. I smiled and raised the black card that Zhang Shanyu had given. Let it gleam in the light. I am the eldest son of the Zhang family. Why should I stop? You have given me 18 years. A few, the same trick again. The faces of both Suyewa and Zhang Yanuo immediately filled with anger. This was a direct threat, and they both knew it. Obviously, Suyewa couldn't leave me here alone. She bit her lips, forced herself to walk beside me. Her face was like the sky before a storm. We entered a large store of a top brand. I tried on clothes as if I were the only person in that room. Suyewa saw Zhang Yunuo's sad mood. She had raised him for 18 years. She couldn't help herself. She gave him a slight nudge and whispered, you know, I would like to pick a few things for you. Zhang Nuo refused a few times for show, then quietly followed her to go shopping. His mood had clearly improved. He came out in a new white shirt, turned in front of the mirror and smiled. Mom, does this look good? Zhang Yanuo liked the color white very much. In the shirt, he looked more delicate and gentle than before. Very beautiful. Our Yinyo looks good in everything. Suyewa smiled happily. I let out a laugh at the right time and came out of my fitting room. I wore a sharp-cut black biker jacket. Underneath it was a deep red shirt. This combination was very striking and commanding. A presence that filled the whole room. There is a mirror right there. Don't you know what you see? I looked Zhang Inuo up and down. There was no mercy in my voice. Look at your body. Shoulders are too narrow. Height is too short. In that white shirt, you look like a child who has sneaked into his father's wardrobe. Zhang Nuo's face turned from white to red in an instant. He was trembling with shame. Why are you insulting me like this? His voice broke with crying. Is speaking the truth an insult now? I went up to him, grabbed his shoulder, and stood him in front of the full-length mirror. I pointed towards my reflection and his. One, delicate but a bit weak. The other, sharp-faced, tall, completely commanding. The difference was clear. See for yourself. Did I say anything wrong? I let him go and gave a firm pat on his shoulder. Not light. Some things cannot be forced, little brother, like presents. Django was so angry he was about to faint. Su Yuewa pulled Django behind her and pointed a finger at me. Fang Xuan, where are your manners? I let out a cold and sharp laugh and matched her voice. Manners? You will talk to me about manners? In the past 18 years, did you raise me? Did you teach me anything? If anyone in this world has the right to talk to me about manners, you are the one person who does not have that right. Su Yuewa fell silent again. Yuo, why are you crying? A slightly sharp girl's voice cut through the moment. I looked up. 3 stylishly dressed girls who thought highly of themselves walked in. Feng Aria, Bai Qingxi, and Situ Nana. These 3 were Zhang Yinuo's classmates and his admirers. All were from good family. In my past life, they had helped him insult and break me many times. Of all people, it had to be them. The 3 of them quickly moved forward, greeted Sayewa for a moment. Then Feng Aria worriedly grabbed Zhang Yanua's hand. Yua, who troubled you? Did he do this? Her gaze fell upon me without any warmth. Django shook his head and gave a smile worse than crying. Oh no, no one hurt me. I just wasn't paying attention. She wasn't buying it. Bai Qingxi's personality was sharp and aggressive. Her mother had made a place in a family through an affair, and Bai Qingxi had learned every trick of those ruthless moves. She stepped forward and looked at me, openly mocking. What kind of world are we living in? An adopted child is bullying the real young master. Absolutely shameful. Situ Nana Nana taunted in a sweet voice. Because there are many shameless people who don't understand the situation or don't know their place. The three of them began to laugh. The anger in their eyes was clearly visible. Jang Gi-nu was happy inside, but he acted as if he wanted to calm the situation, pushing them towards the exit. Arya, please just go. Okay, I am requesting you. His pleading convinced them even more that he was being wrong. They were very angry on his behalf. He wanted a clean exit. I had other plans. I went to the door and blocked their path. What's the rush? These are my brother's friends. His elder brother should meet them. My voice was lazy and slightly amused. Feng Arya and the others already had a problem with me. Seeing me block the door made their anger rise even more. Bai Qingxi taunted. A rustic from a village came out of nowhere. You think you are worthy of knowing us? Ask yourself. Feng Arya was even prouder. No need for introductions. Just remember who you are, and remember who the real young master of the Yang family is. An adopted son shouldn't reach for things that were never his. She stepped forward, trying to look me eye to eye, but our height difference diminished her authority. We are Yuo's friends, Situ Nana said, straightening her shoulders. We won't remain silent when someone like you does bad to him. We are with him. Zhang Ginuo looked as if he were standing on a hot stove. I stopped wasting words on them. My gaze went to Zhang Inuo, and I made sure every person in the room heard what was coming next. Zhang Inuo, as an adopted son, take your friend's advice to heart. An adopted son shouldn't reach for things that were never his. Remember who the real eldest son of the Zhang family is. Those words struck like lightning. Zhang Nuo's face turned white. Feng Arya and the others stood open-mouthed. Fang Shivan! Suyewa screamed, barely containing herself. Zhang Guo could barely remain standing. I savored their expressions. Then I pulled out my phone, dialed Zhang Shui, and put it on speaker. Papa, I infused a bit of pain and anger into my voice. Did you hear what was just said? Your daughters, your wife, and now your adopted son's friends, none of them know who I am. They all revolve around Zhang Nuo at every turn. I cannot stay in this family for a single second. I said what I had to say and cut the call. Zhang Shanyue's call immediately came to Suyua's phone. Even through the speaker, his roar was audible throughout the room. In the end, on Zhang Shanyue's direct orders, Suyue and Zhang Yanuo were forced to apologize to me in front of Feng Arya and her friends, and my position as the eldest young master of the Zhang family had to be reconfirmed. Those three girls were turning now pale, now red, and there was something new in the way they looked at Yang Inuo. Something tangled and examining. Zhang Nuo felt an insult like he had never known before. The image he had carefully built for years, I had shattered it into pieces today. I watched all this with satisfaction. I picked up the things of my choice, told the store assistant to deliver everything to the Yang residence, and walked out without looking back, through the angry, shocked, and uncomprehending faces. Outside the mall, a gleaming black car was parked at the curb, simple but clearly commanding. The window rolled down to reveal a very beautiful face that also had a bit of wildness. My best friend, and the only person who knew the truth of my rebirth, Shan Wenqing. She curled her lips into a smile. Shan, come inside. I have something worth seeing. I opened the door and sat inside. The car smoothly moved forward. From the window, I could see Zhang, Jinuo, Su Yuewa, and the whole group. Pang Arya and her friends were also standing outside the mall entrance. Their faces were gloomy, and then several people emerged like ghosts from the crowd. They held something in their hands, and before anyone could react, they threw that thing straight at the group. Sharp, terrifying screams echoed in the air above the shopping area. A stench began to spread that cannot be described. It was sewage water. Zhang Inuo, Su Yuewa, Feng Arya, Bai Qingxi, Sitna, and Zhang Wangji, and Zhang Meiling, who arrived a little later. None of them escaped, drenched from head to toe. Filth clung to their hair, faces, and their expensive clothes. Chaos broke out in the crowd around them. People started running here and there and pulling out phones everywhere. Inside the car, Shen Wenqing handed me a cup of milk tea, smiling like a fox. So, happy with your welcome home gift? I saw the scene outside. Chaotic, foul-smelling, completely insulting, and a cold, very satisfying smile appeared on the corners of my lips. Very well done. This is just the beginning. Zhang, Inwo, my beloved sisters, whatever you have given me, I will take it all back with interest. See you tomorrow at Chinquan High School.